Our next speaker is Deborah Sweet. She's the director of World Can't Wait. Deborah has been actively opposing U.S. wars of aggression since Vietnam. And as a matter of fact, when she was 19 years old, she confronted former so-called President Richard Nixon about the Vietnam War. As director of World Can't Wait, Deborah has been in the street all the time at that person we don't talk about was president, fighting against fascism, and we still have that fight going on. So Deborah, thank you very, very much for being with us this morning.
I want to call the attention of everyone watching to the sculpture that we're standing under. I hope the press can get a view of it. It's about 30 feet tall. It stands at the intersection of 30th Street and 10th Avenue. Walking in 3 directions, you can see this object. And it is a Predator weaponized drone. I think from standing out here previously, talking to people, most people have no idea what this is. It may be just a piece of art, or it may be something that keeps us safe, or it may be a hideous danger. Daniel Hale went into the military, and his own description is that he was homeless and desperate. And the only place he could go was the Air Force that would take him. And he learned firsthand how these weaponized and surveillance drones are used. He had a picture of it. He wanted us to have the picture of it so that we could understand these drones target and kill people of color around the world, and increasingly in this country. For the purpose of what? Defending and holding on to an empire. He wanted us to know that it is impossible for these drones not to kill unarmed people. And that for the most part, the rules of engagement that Margaret talked about, developed by the Obama administration, decided that any men aged 18 or over were to be designated armed combatants, and therefore they could be killed. This is outrageous on the face of it and should be tolerated by no people under any government anywhere. I know how I see this drone. I look at this piece of art and I think it's a powerful metaphor for this empire. It's white. It's kind of bland. It kills people indiscriminately in most of the rest of the world, who are in their majority people of color. And it can run on autopilot. This is what Daniel helped to expose. We understand that he may have given information about the military drone program, and that's why he was under such heavy indictment on 4 counts of the Espionage Act. But I have a contradiction for everyone to think about. Why is it that someone acting in the interest of humanity to expose the crimes of this government faces much more time than people who actually carry out those crimes? Not only from the White House, not only from the chiefs of staff, but on the ground, the people fighting in the so-called war on terror were by and large not prosecuted for all the crimes of humanity that we know about. And those that were got very light sentences. People in Iraq were killed at Nisour Square in 2007. They were killed during the attack that was so powerfully exposed by Chelsea Manning in the collateral murder video. But what did this government do? 4 of them, Clint Lawrence, Ed Gallagher, Matthew, always forget his name, Goldstein, and Michael Brahenna, were all convicted of killing unarmed people in either Iraq or Afghanistan. Some of them actually got sentenced to time. But who came along? The orange-haired fascist in 2019 pardoned all of them. He called them heroes. These are not our heroes. Our heroes are people like Chelsea Manning, like Daniel Hale, like Reality Winner, like Edward Snowden, and like Julian Assange, who have taken great risks to get out the reality of what this empire is all about. And that's why we demand no further jail time for Daniel. Let him out. And Biden, you need to pardon him. He needs a full pardon. This is our demand for Daniel. I just want to say that in this one case, it unfolds a whole picture. This is not about who's the president necessarily. It's not about the intentions of people living in this country. There's a system going on here. Capitalism, imperialism. Capitalism because it's based on exploitation, and imperialism because it works across the whole globe to dominate it. This is the system that drives these wars insistently. This is what we have to oppose every day. Many of us here in this group are demanding a ban on killer surveillance and weaponized drones. We're demanding a ban on nuclear weapons. And guess what? The United States is #1 in using and producing both. This is the problem, the United States being the biggest danger to the globe right now. And we are out here demanding freedom for Daniel Hale. I would say,
free Daniel Hale.
Get him out of jail. Release Daniel Hale. Get him out of jail. Release Daniel Hale. Get him out of jail. Thank you all.